I'm going to hook up a program called Forescan. It's a free diagnostic software that you can get online, and I'm going to pull up the fuel trims and also the fuel rail pressure. The fuel rail pressure, I want to see what it's at so I can match my air pressure on my compressor. And then the fuel trims, I want to see the before and after to see if this makes a difference. So the first thing you do is you're going to hook this into your USB port. Okay, you do that first, then you get a green light right here. And then your DTC connector is just right up underneath the steering wheel, just to the left. Right there. Go ahead and insert the key, turn it on. Okay, get Forescan up. Go ahead and select connect down there. Make sure your key is on, select OK. Just select no right here. And for loading a profile, go ahead and select yes if it comes up. And it's going to connect with the PCM. Down there at the bottom left, you see it says connected and ready. So you know it's connected. Go ahead and click on the gear icon, then go up to the connections tab. And this is the settings for connecting to this Mustang right here in the MS-CAN support right there. Make sure that says none. Everything else matches that. You should have no problems. Click on the graphs. Go ahead and start the vehicle. Okay, now you're going to click that settings button down there at the bottom, and you're going to go through there and find your short term 1, your short term 2, long term 1, long term 2 fuel trims. Load all of those, and your fuel rail pressure PID, and load that also. You can skip all of this if you don't want to compare your fuel trims before and after. And I'm already going to tell you the fuel rail pressure needs to be about 70 psi when we do this servicing. Right there in the filter, you can type in the first few letters and it'll help you find things better. Go down here and hit play. And now we're getting the readings from the PCM. We're just going to note that fuel rail pressure there is showing about 40 psi. When we go to actually do the servicing on this, we're going to use 70 psi because we do not want the PCM to turn on the fuel pump due to the fuel line being disconnected. It would shoot fuel out of that open line. Okay, now that I got all of that recorded, I'm just going to go ahead and close all of this down and turn the vehicle off, disconnect everything. That's going to be it for that part. Okay, this particular product right here, this motor vac, is 8 ounces, and the mixing instruction says 3 parts to 1 part gasoline, or 3 parts gasoline to 1 part of this. So this is 8 ounces. So I've got 24 ounces on this gasoline right here. And I'm going to pour this in there. And that should give me right at 32 ounces. And that is 32 ounces right there. And now this is ready to go to pour into the cleaner. Where's that cap at? There. And the reason why I'm doing this is the cleaner will only hold 16 ounces. But this is it requires 32 ounces to mix this. It says mix it all together. So that's what I did and made 32. So I'll have to do this. I'll have to fill it up twice to do the cleaning on this car. To disable the fuel pressure on this 06 Mustang, you do not pull the fuel pump relay. It will not work. All that does is it disables your fuel injectors. The vehicle will not start without the fuel injectors, and the fuel pressure will remain in the lines. So what you've got to do is come back here in the trunk and look right up underneath this floorboard. Okay. Here is the fuel pump driver module connector. There's the tire. There's the connector. There is a little tab right here on top. Push it down right in the center and pull it out. Just that easy. Now that we got the fuel pump driver module disconnected, I'm going to go ahead and try to start the vehicle. And it just stalled out. So I'm going to go ahead and crank it a few more times, make sure that I get as much fuel out of there as I can. Tried to crank, but then just died. Same thing. There's still a little bit of fuel in there. It's trying to start. Okay, I'm going to say that's about it. That should be good to go. Probably still going to get a little fuel running out, but it's not going to be pressurized to where it's dangerous. Reconnect the fuel pump driver module. Okay, for this particular Mustang, the fuel rail does not have a Schrader valve, so this is a returnless system. So that is the whole reason why I did the connector the way I did, because I didn't have any other way to hook it up. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and disconnect this line right here, and I've already got the fuel pressure relieved on the system. Okay, for this connector right here, all you need to do, get you this screwdriver right here, and there's this little tab right here. Just take that tab and lift it up just like that. Alright, then what you're going to do is kind of squeeze this together a little bit and push down just like that, and then work this fill line apart. I had to mess with it a little bit. And there we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to blow this out. I've got it hooked up to the air compressor. I've got some pressure in there already built up. So I'm just going to open up this shut-off valve here. Just this right here, blow that hose out, everything out. Don't want anything getting inside of the fuel injector that's not going to dissolve. Okay, this end, when we get ready to take this off, all you have to do is just squeeze these together, and this black piece is going to come off of this clear piece when you get ready to remove it. To install it, just push it on till it snaps. Okay, I got my air compressor going. I got some air pressure built up on here. What I'm going to do is leak check this thing. I've got everything hooked up. Got the hose hooked up. That's hooked up down there into the line. I want to make sure that this regulator is all the way down. I'm going to go ahead and open up the shut-off valve here. And I'm going to adjust this so that I get 40 psi. That's what we were running at earlier. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and shut this back off now. So I'm going to sit here and monitor this for a couple of minutes, make sure it doesn't drop. Okay, it's been about 8 minutes and it has not moved at all. So what I'm going to do now, of course this is closed off, just go ahead and disconnect this air hose. And then I'll open this up slowly. Leave that pressure off. Alright, I've got air pressure back on this again, and I've got everything hooked up, and I need to take this down to 40. There we go. turn off the key. Okay, now that it's done, I'm going to go ahead and shut this shut-off valve off. I'm going to pull off air hose. And then I'm going to very slowly bleed off the pressure. If there's anything in there, I don't want it spewing out. And there we go. That is half of the cleaning solution. I'm going to go ahead and repeat this. I'm not going to video it. It's going to be the same thing. And then I'll check the fuel trims after I get done. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to disconnect this type of fitting here. Remember I said to, well, actually, let me back up a second here. Before you do this, make sure that you have relieved all the pressure on that tool through that shut-off valve. Make sure there's no pressure on there. Just because the vehicle ran out of gas doesn't mean that there's pressure still on there. Trust me, it's still on there. So go ahead and relieve that pressure on that tool first before you do this. Okay, now, so my pressure is relieved. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze these two tabs together right here. And that's going to separate just like that. Now this piece right here stays on there. So we need to pull that off. It's meant to stay on there, but because we have to hook this back up, the original fuel line up, this can't be on there. So what you need to do is get you a little pick or a small screwdriver and pull this up. On one side, spinning around while keeping it over that lip there. And pick the other side up. It'll slide right off. Now hook the other fuel line up, your original fuel line. Pushing in there. Push it up from the bottom there, and you'll hear it snap. And push that back down. Now when you get that off of there, go ahead and get the end of your hose, stick that back in there, and it'll be ready for the next time. Now when I first thought about doing this, I didn't know if this vehicle needed to be cleaned or not, the injectors, but I'll tell you one thing, that after driving it, it has definitely increased the power. It is a lot smoother. It does not jerk like it did before, and it's a lot quieter. I highly recommend getting your fuel injectors cleaned. It definitely makes a difference. And there was the rev limiter at 3,500 approximately. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, go ahead and hit the like button, rate, comment, subscribe. Catch you later.